Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equities Story. I'm with Wolf, and this is just general share advice and not personal advice, as per the disclaimer that you can see on the website. Wolf, just before we start today, I just saw oil up again overnight, and that Woodside looking pretty good, isn't it? And possibly could work its way higher if you see oil, if oil keeps moving in the upwards direction, and not looking too bad. So maybe one, I think we are trading this one. It's a good little dividend play. I think paying about 9.5%, Wolf.
Yeah, Dave, look, there's probably a huge incentive for the Saudis, right, to really make sure the share price goes, well, the price of oil goes up, because they're going to need to pay millions and billions of dollars for these footballers from Europe that they've been keep buying. So they certainly don't want the price to go down, because they need extra cash, ridiculous amounts of money to throw these players.
I know they took the Wolves player Ruben Neves. I think they're paying him $2 million every 2 weeks. I mean,
it's ridiculous. Do we have a chance?
Listen, I put my hand up for a linesman, see if I can get a good contract. I mean, it's crazy money.
So look, it's positive environment for oil at the moment. So 100%, I agree with you there. That's looking good for Woodside.
Wolfie, JHX. Sometimes the charts can confuse us, and that happened. And you're saying, Dave, really? And now they put the announcement out. They're up 15%, and you're still saying, Dave, really?
Look, I have to admit, there's some stocks that perplex me, and almost on a regular basis, they come up with an announcement that's confusing as all hell, because there's just adjustments everywhere, and I don't know how can they just keep going through every single time there's an adjustments everywhere, and you just, what's going on there, right? But anyway, it seems to be working for them pretty well. Is it something that's, when you look at the actual dynamics, bigger picture type stuff, is it working? And I know there's been a bit of mixture. I mean, I had a quick flick through the commentary. So on the one hand, it seems to be going okay, but on the other hand, they're saying that the addressable market is decreasing. So am I confused when I read stuff like this? Absolutely. I'm thinking it's not for me. just don't quite understand it. However, when you look at the US, you look at what's actually happening there, it's still decent environments. We see the chart of RWC, REH, all they've said we go game. So it seems to be still a good, maybe possible place to be as a business.
All right.
Tradable only, because like I said, if you can understand this story, good luck to you.
All right. Let's have a look at CRN. Wolf, their results are, from what I saw, pretty strongly down from about 24% the revenue down.
Yeah, that's right. So, obviously the pricing of coal that they've had significantly retreated, right? So it's all these little things that all these coal players will probably be coming up with similar type of results, right? So for me, it's a tradable. This all tradable stuff, but right now you wouldn't be touching it.
Yeah, and again, be careful, that dividend has been knocked back substantially. So
like we said, if the earnings suffer, the dividends will suffer at the same time.
Yeah, and that's why you could be careful of these websites. So I'm looking now; they're still saying it's at 15%, where it's most probably more like 7%.
Yep.
So just be careful about that, everybody. Okay, JAN.
Yep.
Up 4% after today's announcement, Wolf. Starting to look a little bit better technically. Far away. What's going on?
I think the key here for this company is they seem to be on the ball with the cash flows, right? So I was interested just to read through the actual announcement just to see, what the growth is like, what the outlook's like, and all that is okay. Nothing spectacular between the 10 and 20% growth. Nice. But it's the fact that they can manage money well is what's the impressive thing for me. So I suppose maybe, is there a trade here to that 55 cents? I think so. That's a 10%, in the next few weeks. So you can possibly do it. But I just wait till the end of the week to see how it finishes, because it's a lightly traded stock. It's had its issues over the last 2 years, right? You can see it's come down from $1.20 to 40 cents. So it's not as if it's a quality story. It's something that potentially, if it gets a bit of a momentum, you can make those 10, 20% over a period of time.
Wolf Meyer,
Mhm.
obviously getting affected by the slowdown.
Yeah, and look, was it obvious? Yeah, fairly. I mean, we talked about it. Remember when they were coming up with these great results? We're scratching our heads, like, really? His department stores are so good all of a sudden. It made no sense. But obviously, there was a little bit of tailwinds after COVID when everyone decided to rush back into the shopping centers. Because they didn't have those super jocks that they needed to get from the department stores. So that spike that happened over the next 12 months obviously showed them that they had a bit of a upside. But again, we know the bigger picture here is that retail is not going great. So that had to stop. The music had to stop. It did. And now they've obviously coming saying that, yeah, back to normality. In other words, zero growth, Dave. That's what Maya's been about for the last few years.
All right. And again, got more or less a sell signal on it. So, DEG, Wolf, some drilling results.
Yeah, nice. I like the results. Again, this is going to be one of my probably favorite gold stories that are not producers because of the big inventory they've now got. And I'm 100% convinced here that someone's going to have a look at this De Grey story to take it out.
All right. PSI, it's held up very well, this insurance company, hasn't it? Holding the trend line absolutely beautifully. And actually, we did look on this on a monthly, actually looking quite good, Wolf. But
yeah.
What's your take on something like PSI?
Look, if you don't own SDF or AUB, PSI is a great alternative as well. They had acquisition today, so the one that underneath ENA, that's the one they're acquiring in the same space. And I think they're paying 28 cents. We're going to have a look at that in a sec. So again, very good story. You can see the long-term charts on these things, the SDFs of the world, the AUBs of the world. There's growth there, and they'll probably keep going with the growth because insurance is one of those things that's probably never going to die. It's like you've got the good old saying, death and taxes. Insurance is probably another one. You always have to have insurance.
And there's the ENA chart, which is, absolutely, this is why you've got to stay away from stocks just going sideways, doing nothing. So, yeah, some people who bought recently would have done okay, but, people bought back here or whatever, or back here, they'll be underwater. So, just got to, don't pick bottoms, just keep where there is positivity. RCE.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're being a little bit, Wolfie, this is the synthetic antibiotic.
Mm-hmm.
And I should know this story because they did come and see me back here. They actually walked into my office with a whole jar of the antibiotic, right?
Did they inject you with something?
No, but I think they did offer to leave me a little scoop of it in case I ever had an issue. But they've been up and down like a yo-yo, and really for the last 3 years, largely down. Now, a little bit of good news today. Is this enough to turn the story? I mean, I don't think yet on the charts, Wolfie. Now, if you look at some of the results here, right? This is a 75-year-old male punctured his wound with a metal spike injury, unresponsive to prior antibiotics. Infection was spreading, and is preparing for a surgical intervention. But I think cometh the hour, cometh the antibiotic. After 30 days, looking a lot better.
Yeah, good patch-up job, isn't it? So that looks pretty good.
And then there's another one which that's ugly. Oh, my
diabetes, everyone. Diabetes, do not go down the path. Look after yourself health-wise.
Oh my God. But after day 14, looking better than obviously on the pre-treatment day or day 7.
Yeah.
Wolf, you were concerned about what happened at day 21. Yeah, I'm going to tell everybody about this.
Oh, the other dude, day 21. I'm thinking myself, what happened to day 21? Is he dead?
Yeah, that's what Wolf says. This is what I have to deal with. You go, Dave, why don't they put day 31 on? Because he most probably died, didn't he? That is a typical analyst, always looking on the bad side of things.
It's always a skeptic of me. Yes, exactly. It's true.
Well, it doesn't say he didn't die, so I don't know, Wolf, right? But anyway, could this antibiotic be the savior? But it's you don't need trend a story like this. Would I trend it now? No, of course I wouldn't. It would have to do. It would have to do.
How long have they been slogging away with these antibiotics now? For how many years?
You know what it's like? It's like the AKP, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but surely it'd be going down to already, phase 3 or phase 2 or 3 or whatever, right? They're still at the bloody beginning. It's like doesn't seem like anything's moving anywhere.
Yeah,
that's my only concern with these things. It's like, having that something on the horizon, and you just keep walking towards the horizon. The horizons never come closer to you. You're trying to walk forever towards it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, isn't it? And possibly Wolf, maybe the FDA could have a bit of an issue with synthetic antibiotics. I mean, there could be a number of issues with them. Who knows?
But at the end of the day, this is just a tradable stock only. We know the success rate of these things is extremely small. So yeah, we don't touch them until they actually commercialize and start seeing the cash flows coming through. Like Tillich is our only one that actually we've invested in.
All right. So in today's news, unfortunately, we've got nothing. We haven't got any buys there, Wolf.
No, and look, I don't mind if there's no buys. We're not going to force any buys if there is no buys. But we're going to have more news during the week because some of the big boys are reporting this week. So at least we've got a positive day today on the markets because we had a little bit of a green day yesterday on the Nasdaq and Dow. Thank God.
Yeah, and I could see that obviously the hot stock. I wouldn't say it's raged, sort of burning fire hot, but it's certainly lukewarm and moving its way quite nicely upwards.
I know you asked me about CPV yesterday. I think they had a please explain from ASX.
Okay.
This morning, and of course they come out saying we know nothing, we hear nothing.
I wonder one day when someone is going to come out and say, "Oh, Dave put on his Einsteins as an Einstein trending stock."
You don't want to hear that, Dave, because they basically will be knocking on your door.
Yeah, I wonder if it ever has happened anyway. All right. On that note, thank you, Wolfie. Have a good evening, and tonight live.
Yes.
All right.
Please.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.